Hey there, Wolf Pups, it's Junie. So welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I am a Therian content creator and I make educational videos on Therianthropy, as well as making craft videos on the side. Before we get started, could you all do me a favor? Could you give the button some pats on the back for me by typing the like button or liking, you know, tapping, I mean, not typing. Words are hard. That would be great. Thanks, guys. Alright, so for today's video, I wanted to address something that I failed to address in my intro video. It's actually kind of crucial, and I can't believe that I forgot about it. So, today we are going to be discussing whether or not I, myself, as a content creator, I know that's hard to believe, will do call out content. And for those that don't know, call out content is talking about someone who has done something wrong or is in question for doing something wrong while providing evidence and adding commentary to said evidence and giving opinions on the topic at hand. I won't lie, I had my fair share of the internet drama and content like this. Now, it wasn't done as like video or anything like that. But I've had my hand at doing and dealing with such things. Um, it was not it was not fun. Um, on the topic of this, um, it kind of like really when doing such content, it does really mess with your mental health. Depending on how long you are doing this content, how long it gets dragged out, um, just how petty it ends up being, really. From my experience, that's pretty much how it was and had been, with pretty much really petty, just stuff. And a lot of it could have been dealt with privately, and it really wasn't. I will admit some of it was my fault because of how young I was and how I wasn't really introduced to the internet and how to deal with people of such problematic aspects. Um, but as far as dealing with it, it does mess with the mental health. It really drains you. It makes you get overwhelmed. Sometimes it can even cause anxiety. And all in all, I personally, for me, it is not a good content to try and delve into. Yes, it does get a lot of likes, a lot of views. It brings in the money, unfortunately, but that is something that I just I don't like. And while doing this type of content, and if you're somebody that's calling out somebody in question, it can also make that person that you called out retaliate against you, and that can cause them to say something back to you, which in human nature, we have the tendency to defend ourselves. So when we feel like we need to defend ourselves when being called out, we'll retaliate back. And then that just creates this whole cycle of fighting and nonstop drama, and it's something that you don't need in your life, honestly. Personally for me, I will not be making this kind of content. I do not care how much people like this content, how much it can really like go through the roof and help like my channel a lot, because it would, honestly, it would. But I'm not I'm not doing that. If there happens to be a Therian creator that ends up getting some backlash or is in question for doing something wrong or is caught doing something that they shouldn't be doing, whatever, um, I'm not going to be addressing it. Most likely, I won't even know where it happened because most of the drama that happens within the Therian community is on TikTok. And I'm not on there. I'll never be on there. I don't want to be on there. So if there's drama on there, I don't want to know about it. And I'm not going to talk about it. And I'm not going to do research about it just to talk about it when it's on a platform that I know nothing about. So it's going to stay on there. Why keep spreading the wildfire, you know? So, um, if that happens, like, guys, just, there's a report button for a reason. I know it sounds stupid to say that because it's like the go-to saying anymore. Oh, use the black button, use the report button, you know. That's why they're there for a reason. Um, but honestly, just use that and ignore them because at the end of the day, the more you keep talking about them, the more you're just giving them attention. And yes, it's negative attention, but that's what attention seekers like. It doesn't matter if it's positive, doesn't matter if it's neutral, doesn't matter if it's negative. Any attention to an attention seeker is going to like that attention. So just don't give them any. That's it. That's how you solve the problem. And then, you know what happens after that? They disappear. They go away. I know. Shocking, right? They just go away. Ooh, who would have thought? Anyway. Um, so as far as like with my channel now, even if I wanted to do that content, I I don't have the means, you know, of such topics. um, no no technology whatsoever on how to do it. Um, I don't have like the software or anything like that, so I really couldn't do anything with that. Um, anyway, so as I mentioned in the intro video, the only thing that I will be doing is talking about the Theron community and educating people on it, as doing crafts and art commissions and things like that. That is what this channel is going to be about. It won't be calling people out. It won't be delving into drama or anything like that. Um, if I have a problem with somebody, it's going to be done privately. Now, if they choose to go out of their way and call me out for something, that is on them. I can't control them and what, they do. Will I retaliate? No. I won't say anything about it. I won't talk about it. I won't do anything about it. I'll just leave it where it is, and that is that. Because at the end of the day, it's not something that I want to deal with personally all the time, 24/7, and it's just not for me. Just not for me. Um, so as far as like calling somebody out, I never saw it as the responsible thing to do. Um, I guess depending on the topic, then maybe bringing awareness to it could be helpful. Like, for example, if you were doing a commission for a mask, and let's say the person didn't fulfill it and didn't get your mask, and um, they didn't like ship it out to you and say you didn't get it at all. I don't think it's appropriate to call that person out for them not giving you the mask. And the only reason why I say that is because these are people behind these businesses, and they may have had many factors that could contribute to why you didn't get your mask. Maybe they had trouble with getting the label. Maybe they actually did ship it and it just got lost because, that happens. Maybe they got sick and they couldn't finish it. and that's why they weren't responding to you because they've been sick. Like, why would somebody respond to you when they're sick? um, Maybe they had, like, I don't know, a breakup, or a family member has gotten severely ill or had passed away. There's so many reasons as to why somebody may have not given you your mask. And I just don't think calling them out is appropriate. I think contacting them, however, is. Communication is key. So, with contacting them, you're not blasting them all over social media. You're not doing all of that. You're just waiting until you get a response. And then, for me personally, I would give somebody at least 2 weeks of to like respond if you haven't received something. If they still haven't said anything, depending on where you got this item from, like for example, Etsy, you can contact Etsy and they can contact the person. And most likely, when Etsy gets involved, they end up getting a response because most people could lose their business with Etsy. Um, Etsy, depending on how bad the situation is, can even help you getting a refund back. So that's kind of nice. So if the seller ends up ghosting you or whatever, they can step in and help you and basically get your money back. Um, so anyway, the point that I'm basically trying to make here is just know when to do such content and know when not to do such content. I guess I'm really trying to say, but for me personally, I'm not doing it at all. Um, it's just not something that I want to deal with and anything like that. Um, oh, another thing is, um, this is something that I kind of had a little bit of a personal thing with. Um, so I had seen a commission on Etsy for a mask and contacted the person, being like, hey, I know there's like limited spots here, but is the spot taken? If the spot is taken, that's totally fine. Like, super nice in the message, totally understanding, like, wasn't being mean about it. And do you know what happened? Guess. Guess what happened? They ghosted me. Like, there's no response. There was nothing. And it's going on 2 days. Now, I might be nice and give them, some more time. I mean, not everybody uh checks, their messages on Etsy all the time, or is that invested into their business, or they just haven't seen the message yet, or whatever the reasoning is behind it. But the other thing I've also noticed too is there was one person who made a business on Etsy and everything was closed, out of stock. And to me, like, why don't you just take the listing down? Because you had to go into um their like little page to find out that everything was out of stock. Like, it wasn't in the actual listing of the item itself. You just had to find out when you actually clicked onto the entire listing itself with everything listed in it. And I'm like, do you know how much time you're wasting? Not just for yourself, but for other people? Like, if you're out of stock on something, why don't you take the entire listing down? I mean, obviously keep your account up, but just take everything down for a second. And then once you have those products back in stock, then you re-upload, everything again, and stop wasting people's time. Like, I don't understand it. Like, people do this all the time. It's not just on Etsy or anything like that. It's everywhere. people do these small businesses think that they can handle it, that's the problem. Is people don't do their research on how to do a business. On top of that, they don't realize how taxing it is, and they think they can go into it just willy-nilly, and no, you actually can't. I've thought about being a small business owner and doing research for so many years on trying to know how to do it. I have yet to even put it in thought because it's just so hard. There's so many there's just so many factors, and then you got to pick a website that may take half of your sales that you make. Like, for instance, Etsy does that. If you sell on Etsy, they take a small little portion of what you make. And depending on how big you keep growing and the more the prices are, the more Etsy takes from you. So how much are you really getting money back for what you made or what you're trying to sell? Like, all that money could have been yours to replace said items that are running out of because you made them. You're selling them. So that's another reason why research is so important too. And then you can also go down the route of making your own website, but that's even harder because you got to promote the heck out of it. And for like maybe the first year, you won't get any sales. And that's also another thing you got to figure out too. And it's just all in all just not I it's not ideal for everybody. It's honestly for people that know how to do it, have the ability, the money, like it's yeah, it's definitely not for everybody. It's definitely not for me. So figure that one out. um, so as far as like having a listing and then like not communicating to people that spots are have been taken and the listing's actually closed, it's real simple to be like contacting the person back and being like, hey, sorry, the slot has been taken. The listing is unfortunately closed. Like, that's all you have to say. Like, is it that hard? Like, to the person that I contact about the mass commission, like, that's all they could have said. And I would have been like, okay, fine, I'll go find somebody else because this one's closed. Like, that's simple. But unfortunately, that's not how people are anymore. No, nobody wants to communicate to anybody. They just want to waste everybody's time. It's Don't do that. Just don't do that. Don't waste people's time. Actually communicate because communication equals to promises and honesty. You want to be as transparent as possible with your customers, especially if you're getting overwhelmed or you just have too many orders. It is fine to take a break. It is fine to stop for a little while, but you gotta like deliver on your promises and finish your current projects and getting them shipped out, and then afterwards you're free. And then while you're free, also take down your listing so you don't get people asking if it's still open or anything like that, and just be like, hey, it's temporarily closed, and maybe even give a date on when you're going to return. So that way your customers know, and um that way when you come back, they'll be there waiting. They'll be lining up waiting. And that's another thing people don't understand is just being honest, delivering on promises, and communication are like the key factors into having a business. Because if you're doing all those things, you're going to be so successful beyond words. And that's just another thing that I wanted to add in there too, is just be transparent, and if you don't want to keep doing it, take a break, and then afterwards, maybe downsize and figure out the flaws, and that way when you get back into it, it won't be as taxing onto you, because businesses are supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to be, miserable and destroying a passion or a hobby you like. So, you know, so it's just logical thinking on, all that. And that's just something where I just wanted to randomly throw in there. Um, so, um, kind of lost my train of thought here. Now, kind of on this topic a little bit again. If somebody says something and they're like, it's like, um, a big thing, like they're in drama or whatever, say like, I somehow randomly get involved, and let's say, it's so big and the news reaches out. This will never happen, honestly, but it's an example. Um, if that happens, I will not ever be on the news. Let's put it that way. Depending on the situation, um, I would just say no comment and tell the press to leave me alone, basically. Um, I don't want to be that out there. Let's put it that way. Um, like, that's too much attention. That's too much, like, people are gonna make up stories and this, that, and the other, and I had my fair share of being lied about and, uh, being in petty fights and arguments with past people who I thought were friends but didn't turn out to be friends at all. And it's just it's 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 not worth it. It's not worth uh being down that rabbit hole again, especially if, the news gets involved, but they're not going to get involved ever. I'm never going to be involved in such a crazy idea, but I was just going to use that as an example to kind of touch base on the that aspect a little bit. I would never get involved, never want to be involved if somebody, gets gets on the news for something really really big and serious that the news wants to talk about it. Yeah, no, because the news is always going to twist the story, always going to twist the narrative. They never get anything right, and they do that on purpose to, get people talking about it, get people interested in the news. And no, I'm not playing that. I'm not going down that rabbit hole. I know a little bit of journaling myself, and um I just think it's just it's not for me. I'm not playing those games. So, um I just kind of want to cover those topics that I kind of missed in my last video. Sorry, there's a hair that keeps tickling me on my mouth and my cheek here, and it's driving me insane. The perks of having a mask on. It's limited. You can't unless they take it off, but I'm, not gonna do that. Nobody needs to. Yeah, anyway. Um, so pretty much wanted to go over those topics that I missed in the last video, and wanted to just share my thoughts just in case people might ask, or um might be wondering what else I will do on this channel. And call out content is not going to be one of those. If a Therian creator, for example, gets backlash or is in the wrong for doing something, getting caught doing something like really wrong, really bad, or is in question, um, please don't ask me to cover that topic. Don't ask me to be like, hey, can you call out so and so and oh they're doing this or oh they're being a fake Therian or oh la 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 la. The answer is no. It's a cold hard no. I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but personally, that is not the type of content that I want to create. It's not the type of content that I want to portray. I'm supposed to be educational, not drama filled. Because um it's it's that's what it is. It's just it's drama filled and I don't want to do that. And um if you find out somebody is being called out, and this goes for anyone, doesn't matter if you're a Therian or not. If you were seeing somebody and you know they're breaking a law, don't call them out. Go straight to the authorities. Now, if you're somebody who is scared to do that, find somebody that will. Um, you can even do it anonymous, and how depending how serious it is, the police will look into it. Um, like just if you see somebody breaking a law, report it. Don't spread it online because that's either going to keep motivating the person to keep breaking more laws or continue breaking the same law, or they can go into hiding. And you don't want somebody who's bad and breaking the law going into hiding. You don't. So, if you see something like that, always go to the authorities. Don't don't be that petty Susan. I don't know who Susan is, but don't be that type of person and um calling them out and being like, oh, they're breaking the law, they're doing this, yada yada yada, gotta spread awareness, guys, yada yada yada. Like, don't do that. Just just go straight to the authorities and let them handle it. It's so much better to do it that way. Um, so all in all, just please be respectful. That I don't want to be involved. I don't like conflict. I never had like conflict. Some people might say otherwise, and just to make this very clear to those type of people that may or may not be stalking my YouTube, you don't know me. You never have known me. You never will know me other than what I want to show you and what I want to talk about. So to those people, no, I never liked being in conflict. It may appear to be that way, but um, I was pretty much immature. People can change. I have grown a lot since all of that. And have you seen me in any conflict since? No. So, on to you guys. I know that was kind of like petty and all that, but like seriously, like I'm like it's a serious moment and not a serious moment at all at the same time. But anyway, moving on. Um, so I kind of know like a lot of people like this content, this calling out drama, pettiness content, but it's it's not content at all. It's just drama. Drama is not content. It's not movie content. It's not, you know, internet worthy or, video worthy. It's nothing. It's literally nothing. I hate drama so much. Doesn't matter what it is. It really doesn't. Any drama is just garbage. It's garbage. I never liked it. Never liked that type of content, especially in movies. Don't even get me started on the movies. It's so cringy anymore. I was just like, who's gonna watch that? Yeah, but yeah, you're never gonna see me sit in front of a camera blabbing for an X amount of time and get paid to talk about drama. No, I'm gonna get paid for educational purposes and crafting and commissions, pretty much. and whatever else I end up doing. Um, but drama will not be one of them. I won't sit here and, bash somebody or anything like that. Even even to the people that I had problems with in the past couple years now actually. I will not go into that. Um I may joke around a little bit about it cuz now it's just like a whatever. Um but as far as like what happened or anything like that, I'm not going to give those people my 2 cents than what I already am doing. Um I won't go into like uh spreading what they done to me or anything like that. At this point, if it keeps happening or whatever, it will eventually get into serious topics more than what it is now. Um, Honestly, it's just documented. I haven't really talked about it too much. I haven't, addressed it. I never will. It's just not worth the time fighting people who knew they wanted to hurt me and wanted to hold on. Hold hold that. Hold on. What happened? What happened? What happened? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. Anyway, so to those people, they knew what they were doing. They knew they didn't like me from the start. Called me a friend, played mind games, that sort of thing. And I won't I just won't go into that. I know it sounds very interesting and people are going to be like, "Oh, what happened? Can I know?" No. You don't need to know. And if, those people come out saying like, "Oh, we got evidence." I have the entire Discord screenshotted. I call me crazy if you want, but I know what exactly happens because I have the entire thing documented. And there's a lot of things that were purposely how do I say it? Cropped out, enlarged on purpose, or just missing entirely. That sort of thing. I'm a little petty, but I'm also very thorough on how to defend myself when need be. But um, I never shared that information. I never um like shown it or to anybody real or anything like that. Only like two people know about it, and um like it's something that's being held on to for, I'm just gonna say it, for authorities, for my personal safety at this point. That's why I have it. If it didn't happen, I wouldn't have it. I honestly, like, every time I look at it, I'm like, I just should just get rid of it. But then, something stupid comes up and I'm like, okay, well, 3 years later, or roughly 3 years later of basically being cyberbullied by these people, or mostly one of them. But but it's just like, you know, it. Why would I want to do call out content then when I've been in drama myself? It's not worth it. It's just not. It's just, yeah. Anyway, moving on. So all in all, I just want to be fun, relatable, spread people's art, wear people's art, shout out people, do commissions, and just um, recommend people that I commission and just helping them get more customers, get more views, get more, revenue, basically. Maybe even finding uh, things on Amazon. Excuse me, sir. My baby. What's the matter? Where's your binkies? Where did you have that? Where'd you get your? There it is. There it is. Put it in there. Mommy's done with that. Yeah, mommy's done with that. Kids, let me tell you. Anyway, so like doing like I don't know how to explain it, but like you know how people on the internet like to keep things secret from their audience? I don't want to be that person because I know it's like to wait around or not know at all. So if I like find something, then I'm like, oh, the Theron community will love this and appreciate this finding. I'll share it. I don't care. If you're like, hey, where did you get that mask? You know, this was Amazon. I straight up will tell you, these were Amazon. Uh, most of my things are from Amazon. But anyway, um, that's just an example to throw out there. It's just to find stuff that people are like, oh, where'd you get that? You know? And I'll tell you, I'll put a link or something. Or if I do like um what are they called? Amazon hauls or something like that. I'll link everything. Like I'm not gonna keep a secret from anybody. Plus, what's the point in doing that anyway? Because most people can guess where the item probably came from 99.99% of the time. So what's the point? Um it's just another way to be more helpful than the average Joe pretty much online. Um I just, want to be helpful when it comes to my channel. Um and just answer questions as much as possible and um comment. Sometimes it might be in a form of a video. Sometimes it might actually be a comment directed to you. But it depends if it's going to be a video, depending on the type of question and depending on um if it's like a question about an item or something. I might end up just doing a video being like, hey, look, this is what yada yada yada, and then here's, where I found it, and just kind of blab about it for like an hour. I'm kidding. I'll try not to go an hour. So, the only thing I might keep from you guys is like surprises, because that's a bit different. Oh my goodness. Sorry, he wants out of his chair, but I can't get him out of his chair at the moment because you guys don't need to see what he looks like. Hold on, mommy, don't wait then. Mommy, don't wait then. Can you have this? Can you step on that? Can you step on your Mickey? Yeah, step on your Mickey. You're the cute little man. You're the cute little man. Okay, anyway. Anywho and anyhow, um, so surprises are gonna be a bit different. Those I'll keep a secret until I reveal whatever it is. I actually do have a few prizes in mind that I think people might appreciate. And yes, I will tell you guys where I got them and all that jazz. I won't keep that from you either when it comes to the prizes and where I got the things. If it's somewhere where I, got it, whatever. But so yeah, I think that's I think that pretty much wraps up today's video. Um if you made it all the way here, thank you for watching. Um and just let me know what you thought about today's video. It's kind of all over the place, but that's my brain anymore. All over the place. Even if I have a script in front of me, I can't keep it straight. I think it's more better that way anyway when it comes to this type of content because I'm like cringy, you know? And I think it's more fun that way to be as cringy as possible. Like I just like I find it more funny. Like when I look back on these videos, like the first two that I made, the only two that I made so far, I laugh at my own self, and I'm like, most people would erase this and be like, oh my, that was cringe. But me, I'm like, I'm keeping it in there because it's hilarious. I just want to make somebody smile and have the actual reality of what it takes to make a video, and like have it raw and pure and not edited whatsoever. Because I don't edit my videos so far. I might do that in the future, but I have yet to even get there. I have to do a lot of research on what I want to do for that, so that's why it hasn't happened yet. Um, but anyway, so let me know what you thought of today's video uh in the comments down below. If you want to, it's free. You can subscribe to my channel and be notified on the next video. And please do come again because I'll see you in the next video some point. Bye!